All right, so today on Christy Talks, we're going to be talking about building relationships with adult learners. So what is the importance of building a trusting relationship with your adult learners as an instructor? We have a quote here from Kaufman. It says, positive student relationships are fundamental to success. When students feel supported, they're more likely to engage in learning and have better academic outcomes. This is all true. As a teacher of middle school, I know that every day. So there's no doubt that creating positive relationships with students helps students to feel supported, and because of that support, they're likely to have higher levels of success. Not only will the students feel supported, but because of the relationship with the instructor, they're more motivated to push themselves and to accomplish more. Those students with positive relationships with their instructors have stronger social skills and better academic success. And just as an example, I have good positive relationships with most of my students, and even the students that are considered challenging do produce most of the work that I ask them to do, which is hard to do with 13-year-olds. So I'm just saying, a really good relationship with a student is very useful, probably even more so with adults. Best practices for building those relationships. To build relationships and rapport, instructors need to start by explaining the policies and the expectations of the course. The people in the course want to know what's going to happen in the course and what they should be looking for. They should also be clear about due dates. They should also go over the syllabus with students so there is no confusing questions. And then you want to make sure the students understand the need for the policies, the why of the policies, and what assignments there are in the course, and then how they are connected and relevant to the content, so they don't feel like they're wasting their time. Next, you want to get to know your students. You want to call them by name. You want to learn about their hobbies and their interests. Students need to feel that you care about them. Getting to know them at a personal level allow them to feel connected and cared about and have complete understanding that the instructor is concerned with their success. My students know I care about them. I say it. And because I say it, they connect with me on a personal level, and I am able to help them to go forward in their education a little bit better than if I had not done that. So we're going to continue with best practices. An instructor should also respect their students. Doing this means that students will also respect the instructor. The outcome of mutual respect is that the students feel comfortable asking questions and are motivated to reach higher goals, and then the instructor gets the respect back, and it means there's no complaints from the students, no negative feedback, and as an instructor at a university, there are those review forms, and you will be less likely to receive negative feedback on those review forms from the students. So again, making sure that they respect you and you respect them. You need to do that just as much as they need to do it for you. Make sure as an instructor that you keep your promises. For example, getting grades out on time, which is always difficult, or sending material to the students when you told them that they would have it to use for an assignment. If they feel they can trust you to keep your word, then they'll be more relaxed in the class, they'll be able to enjoy the class, and this will cause a more professional learning environment for all of the people in the course. So finally, when instructors make mistakes, for example, you give students a correct grade, or in my case, I correct a behavior that was the student next to them and not them. It is really imperative that you quickly own that mistake and fix it immediately, because otherwise you lose the trust of the student, which that is not going to help you in the class. But don't apologize for giving a fair grade, even if the learner's not happy about it. However, you can and should include constructive and detailed feedback, which provides evidence and justification for the decision. That's by Hardy in 2017. And you want to make sure they understand that you're not giving this grade because you don't like them or because they're different or whatever it is. You want to make sure that they understand that it has to do with the content and what they did that could be fixed for the next assignment. So like if you're doing a writing, like 5-paragraph essay, and they only wrote 4 paragraphs, you want to say that the writing for the first 4 paragraphs was really good, if that's what it is. But that they skipped an entire conclusion paragraph, this is how you write it, and this is why it's important. And then the students know for the next time that they will not leave that out. Okay, interests and needs continued. Instructors need to make themselves available for their students. For a college professor or any kind of professor of adult students, that means having office hours that are not only there to help answer questions, but also some one-on-one time to get to know the students. Before a student leaves your office, ask if they have any questions so that their self-perceived needs are met. This is a useful thing to do because it makes sure that they come in with their question, they go out with the answer they're looking for. And during that time, you need to allow students to have personal conversations where they they share personal stories. This helps the instructor get to know the student, and therefore helps the instructor to support their learning, which in turn can help the instructor point the student in the right direction for classes in the future and perhaps careers that they hadn't thought about. So when you have a student, like I've had students that are interested in the medical field, I want to point them, because I'm a middle school teacher, to a high school that would help them to achieve those goals, and I've done that in the past, and those students have done well in those areas. So it's just about, as an instructor, getting to know them well enough that you can help them move further with their life. Okay. This is always a fun one. How do you handle students that have a different viewpoint of your own? Being able to handle students with different viewpoint will come up on a regular basis. Dealing with this situation is not so much a management issue or skill, it's a personal issue. I think students having different opinions from my own is an opportunity for more thoughtful discussion on whatever the topic is. Instructors need to remove themselves from their own personal bias and opinions and listen to the students with an open mind. We're all allowed to have opinions. It's good for them to speak them because that helps them to learn a little bit more, okay? Then, that being said, everyone in the classroom must be willing to listen without attacking the person and be respectful of the person's viewpoints. Many times while teaching students, I have had great discussions about such things as race and gender, where I learned as much from the students as they did from me. So even in a middle school where I teach AVID, which is about success, going on to be successful in college and further, we have discussions about gender and race all the time. It's a very big topic right now, and students want to talk about it. And I think whatever my opinions are, they need to be kept to myself. And I need to listen and clearly understand what the students are saying and how that affects their lives, so I have a better idea of how to be helpful to them. So what should happen is that the instructor should set some ground rules for this type of discussion. Commonly used rules for discussions about sensitive topics include speaking from your own experience by using the pronoun I instead of we, you, or they, because obviously if you say we, you, or they, you're separating groups, and that's not what you're supposed to do. You should use the word I, you should use the pronoun I, because that makes it about you as opposed to about them. Reframing from personal attacks is huge. If you don't like someone's opinion, that doesn't give you the right to attack them. It gives you a right to say, I hear what you're saying, but this is my opinion on that. But not to attack them, because that's not useful. It doesn't help the discussion go further. And watching body language is really important too, because it can be as disrespectful as the words. So if everyone, including the instructor, follows the rules, difference of opinion can be a fantastic opportunity for the class to step out of their comfort zone and reflect about their own thinking. And I think that's true for instructors. Every once in a while, I have students, 13-year-old students, who have an opinion that I really have to stop and think about, because it does change the thought process that I've held for many, many years. And we need to be open to changing our thoughts, because as we move forward, the world is changing. We're more global, we're online more, and students have a better sort of take on that sometimes than those of us who are older. So, how would I apply the Christian worldviews by supporting culture and diversity in my classroom? Christians have a responsibility to be inclusive to all students, of all cultures and of all backgrounds. Instructors need to be willing to learn about the cultures that they don't understand or know. They need to be willing to ask questions and listen to answers with an open mind. Again, having a difference of opinion is not a big deal. It's a time for learning. We are all on this planet together. Doing the right thing by everyone of all cultures is what being a Christian is about. So as an instructor, one needs to accept the students of all backgrounds, treat everyone with kindness and respect, and so that as you would like to be treated, as it says in the Bible, as you would like to be treated. Doing those things will help to support and engage the students, and they will find you someone that they can trust and respect. I feel like Christians are supposed to be open to everyone, and if that's the case, there would never be a problem in a Christian teacher's classroom, because they would be open to differences of opinion and differences of religious backgrounds. And here we have where I got all of my information. Thank you very much. Have a great day.